Okay, it's 10:30. Can we start with the appointment of the chairman, please?
I think we should use the microphones. Are we all happy with that? Because the aircon, there's a lot of background noise, so quite straightforward. Press the button to speak and press it again to finish speaking. Okay, on our agenda, appointment of chairman, we've done that. Item 2, apologies. Any apologies? Okay, item 3, chairman's announcements. I have none. Any declarations of interest? No. Okay. 5, minutes. To approve the minutes of the previous subcommittee meetings on the 29th of June this year and the 8th of July. Are we happy with those? Okay. Is that okay, Peter? They're agreed. Thank you. Summary of procedures. We have those, everybody has the papers, I assume, so the procedures are there if we're all happy with that. We'll move on to the item 7, which is the application for a new premises license for the Anthropos Festival at Hixham Hall. I will be, I'll be doing it. Pernix Pelham. Just before we start, we will do introductions so that everybody knows each other. I'm chairing this. I'm Councillor Jeff Jones, representing Buntingford Ward.
Caroline Redford represents Seal, part of Seal.
David Andrews representing Fundridge and Standon.
And then we have.
I'm James Ellis. I'm the legal advisor to the committee.
I'm Brad Wheeler. I'm the Senior Licensing and Enforcement Officer.
Peter Mannings, Democratic Services.
Excellent. And the applicants.
I'm Sven Mattes. I'm the event promoter.
What name is it?
Sorry, Sven Mattes.
Sven. Okay.
I'm Lars Mattes, also event promoter.
Thank you very much. Okay. So with the application, I think what we propose to do, we will ask the licensing officer to give his report. There will then be an opportunity to ask questions if you need to, as well as from the committee. And then we'll move on. The objectors aren't here. The reason we're here is obviously there's an objection from the parish council, so we have that in writing. And then to yourselves to give a statement or whatever, and we will ask questions. Following that, the committee will retire to make their decision. If everybody's happy with that, we'll move on to Brad.
Thank you. Good morning to you all. Contained in the papers in front of you is the full report outlining an application for a new premise licence under the Licence Act 2003, Section 17. This can be found between pages 33 and 48 of the agenda reports pack. As you've already seen the report and the accompanying documents, I shall provide a brief summary of the application and the representation received. On the 13th of June 2022, an application for a new premise licence was received from the applicant Anthropos Experience Limited in regard to a festival to be held at Hixham Hall, Hixham Lane, Pernix Pelham. The proposed application seek that the following licensable activities to be granted. This is plays, the provision of films, live music, the performance of dance, anything of a similar description to live and recorded music between 0800 hours and 0500 hours on Thursday to Sunday, and between 0800 and 1700 on Monday. They've also requested recorded music from 0800 on Thursday right through to 1700 on Monday. The supply of alcohol for consumption on and off the premises, Thursday between 1100 and 2300. Friday between 1100 and 0300, so Friday and Saturday between 1100 and 0300. Sunday between 1100 and 2300, and Monday between 1100 and 1700. And also late night refreshments on Friday to Saturday between 2300 and 0300. These times will be restricted for one event over 5 calendar days per year. The application can be found in Appendix A, which is pages 47 to 74. Regarding the steps to promote the licensing objectives, the applicant has stated a number of steps. These can be found on pages 65 and 66 of the reports pack. The application has further been supported by conditions agreed with Environmental Health and Hertfordshire Constabulary with the applicant. This is detailed in Appendix B, which is pages 75 to 80 of the reports pack. During the consultation period, there's been one representation received, this being from a local parish council with concerns around noise to local residents. This representation engages the prevention of public nuisance licensing objective. The representation can be found in Appendix C, which is on page 81 of the reports pack. The report looks at the East Hart Statement of Licensing Policy, the revised guidance under Section 182 of the Licensing Act 2003. The report provides information that was being submitted by the applicant and the interested party making a representation, and the subcommittee should determine the application with a view promoting the 4 licensing objectives. In determining the application, the subcommittee should consider if they believe the applicant has provided evidence that the licence, if granted, would promote and not undermine the licensing objectives. This evidence should be balanced against the evidence of those that have made representation in that the licensing objective will be undermined. If members feel that the application will not undermine the licensing objectives, then the application should be granted as requested. If members believe that there is evidence that in granting of the licence this would not promote the licensing objectives, then it is within your remit to take any action that you believe is appropriate and proportionate to address these concerns. Members can attach conditions or take steps that you believe are appropriate to promote licensing objectives, such as limiting hours for licensable activities, or if there are no steps, then you may refuse the application in its entirety, but this should be the last resort. The subcommittee's determination should be evidence-based, justified as being appropriate for promotion of the 4 licensing objectives and proportionate in what is intended to be achieved. That completes my report, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Brad. Any questions for clarity at this stage, members? No? Okay, then we'll move on, I think, to the applicants.
Thank you very much. So basically, we would like to just add that we've been working closely with our, of course, sorry about that. Okay, so essentially, I just wanted to add that basically we've been working closely with a sound management team to work out our exact sort of noise restrictions that will be put in place to be able to mitigate any public nuisance, as well as outlined in our application in terms of the sale of the alcohol. We believe that there have been put in the hours that we put in reasonable to sort of have the measures in place to we essentially believe that essentially we are closing the bars at a certain time, and in the parish council clerk, I think, stated that one of the concerns was that we do not limit alcohol sale to any specific hours, and we do want to say that in our applications it already states that we limit alcohol sale hours, as well as that
we are also limiting music hours on different stages depending on their impact. And sorry. And we are restricting any sound levels to inaudible outside of the site once we get into the night. So the exact hours of that are again described in the application. So
Yeah, and also I'd love to just add that obviously we've had the event before and they were running on essentially the same similar hours that we've currently proposed. And in terms of the reporting that we heard back from North Hertfordshire Council was that there weren't any major concerns and or public nuisance around the event, and it being at an even more remote location this time, we feel like that the measures that are being put in place are relevant to keeping the licensing objectives in order.
Could I ask something, Chair?
Yeah, I'll come to that. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that. So you have had an event before, but not at that location, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
It was in North Herts, I think you said.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and no problems there. Thank you. Members, Caroline, I think do you have a question?
I just, it sounds as though you're really conscious of any threats. Is it a sort of over application because you want to be covered and that you're not actually intending to play music all the time? Is that what I understood?
Yeah, that's correct. So we're still obviously working with the noise management team
Oh, great.
to nail down the exact sort of restrictions and noise levels that we'll go towards. But it's essentially, we wanted to cover a wider sort of range of music hours and entertainment hours to be able to, you know, grow into this over the years to come.
Mhm.
But obviously we're very mindful about the event and wanting to, you know, essentially be, you know, in good terms with the,
Cover all bases basically, and
essentially, yes, yeah.
yeah, and be on terms with anybody who might be upset. Sounds
Exactly.
great. Thank you.
sorry, I do just want to add
Sure.
we do plan to play hours late at night, music at hours late at night. However, that would be background music in our cafe space. So the dance music stages or live music stages would be turned off.
Yeah, so the live music will be turned off, but what sort of time would that likely to be finished?
So that
3
we're
or
looking currently between 2 AM. This is on the Saturday and the Friday night. And then essentially what will happen is that we're transitioning into low music hours as well as then eventually inaudible music hours for our recorded music, which is the cafe background music that we have going on, so that they're, it's essentially a space for people to still gather and so
While
on.
people are having breakfast.
Essentially.
Okay, thank you. David, any questions?
Not for me, thank you.
Okay, Caroline, anything further? Okay, yeah, nothing further from me. So, David?
Could I just make the point that I'm sure the subcommittee joined me in being disappointed that the parish council, having objected to this application, haven't actually put anybody forward to talk to that objection, and has invoked a system and a hearing which does rely on the input of all parties and the opportunity for us to question them as to the nature and virtue of the objection. And I think that's very disappointing.
Yeah, it is. That's a very good point, David. Thank you for that. Yeah, it is disappointing, and they make an objection and then don't follow it through, basically, and we have to go through the process. But anyway, we will take that into consideration.
You want to sum up there anyway before we go out?
Yeah, I mean, do you need to sum up?
I think
you've probably said what you need to say.
yes,
So,
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we will retire and be back shortly. with our response. Thank you. Okay, the licensing committee have come to their decisions as follow. We've considered the comments of the senior licensing and enforcement officer, the objection from Albury Parish Council and the comments provided by the applicants during the hearing. And we have decided to grant the application as applied for, along with the conditions as agreed. The reasons for this decision are as follows. The subcommittee are mindful that the event as applied for is outside the parameters of its own statement of licensing policy, in so much as it allows licensing activity to persist until 0300 on a Friday and Saturday, whereas para 6.9 of the policy states that licensable activity will generally be allowed until 0100 on Fridays and Saturdays. However, the subcommittee are satisfied that allowing the licensable activity as requested would not on this occasion be contrary to the promotion of the licensing objectives. The subcommittee came to this conclusion due to the fact the SAG had been properly engaged throughout. There were no objections received from any responsible authority nor any local residents. The one objection received from Albury Parish Council did not, in the subcommittee's opinion, provide any evidence for why it felt the event would be contrary to the promotion of the 4 licensing objectives. Further, and to the subcommittee's disappointment, the Parish Council did not attend the meeting of the subcommittee in order to expand on their stated objection. The subcommittee therefore placed little weight on the objection for these reasons. The subcommittee are satisfied that the licensable activity will be voluntarily restricted by the applicants once they have finalised their preparations, which addresses the main concern raised by the objector. The subcommittee are satisfied that the location of the event is sufficiently remote as to not be close in proximity to residential and other noise sensitive premises. So thank you very much for attending. And I think that finalises the meeting, the subcommittee meeting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much and
Thank you.
good luck with your event.
Thank you.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate
Have